back, okay? I want to let us finish up with day 2. Let me just put this on. Hold on. Let us finish up with day 2 of Colin Griffith. We had the detective getting back on the stand. The judge still has not made a decision. Oh, I need my notebook. Hold on. Okay, what happened?
Please be seated.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for that delay. Mr. Levine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Peters, we're going to next segue to September 7th of 2024. We were talking earlier about the Ring video footage. Has an exhibit been prepared that has dozens of clips from that September 7th date, the last day when the defendant was at home with his mom?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move State Exhibit 197 into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
It is received.
And we'll start playing the clips, Detective Peters. If there's any questions that I have as the clips play, I'll let you know. Starting with number 1.
So what are we looking at?
Hold on.
Detective Peters, in clip 1, did it appear the defendant was coming home from his job at Domino's Pizza?
It did.
Clip 2.
What's up, Benji? Be safe out there. If you're on the road, be safe out there. I mean, this would be helpful if we could actually see what the surveillance shows.
John, can you keep the thing here so we can see like how much longer side? Yeah, that's fine. We're going to go to clip 3. Detective Peters, in that clip, did it appear that the defendant was holding a cell phone in a black case?
It appeared so.
Next clip.
Did you not eat your food that I paid good money for?
All right, hold on. So we have Kathy and Colin. All right.
Oh, did you read it? Okay, good job.
Okay, you appear pretty normal. What's up, Brooklyn?
Oh, and by the way, I stole your candy.
Okay.
I ate the candy that was in
Normal.
your room, some of it. Not all of it, but those little weird things that are like little half-inch squares. There are a bunch of different colors. They're green and red and yellow and blue. Those ones are pretty good. They said they were sour. They weren't sour at all.
Okay.
Is that Kathy Griffith?
Yes, it is.
Oh, and Colin, you have to definitely go out there and be back in. It's longer than ever. I don't think you know how to scout the yard. I think you're like weed whacking it instead of like mowing it. You need to use the weed whacker as a mower, dude. You get that? But I guess it's never gonna happen.
Was that her wanting her son to weed whack the backyard?
It was.
That sounded like a normal
I'm
conversation.
putting your
to me.
work shoes in the garage. I don't have time to clean them today, so I'm just gonna have to like dust them off or something. I really don't know. But I'll wash them.
Did it appear that his mom would do his laundry and clean his work clothes and shoes?
It appeared so, yes.
I've been up since 7:30. Reading since 7. Finished one of them on Saturday. The book's there. Yes. Hold on, I have to let the dog back in. I have to start the laundry sometime soon, but I can't start it until I have the closure ring. Yes? Are we canceling Saturday? That's Saturday not starting yet?
Okay.
Yes. Do I need to start the clock back over? What?
Okay, so Brooklyn wants to know, how did I find this case? It's very interesting, and Brooklyn has not heard about it. I mean, it was just on Law and Crime. Like I said, it basically flew under the radar because it was taking place at the same time as the ASAP Rocky trial.
Hold on, I have to put this stuff away.
Yeah, but so far, I mean, it's so early. I want to say it's early in the year, but we're almost in March. Regardless, I think this is probably one of the better trials of 2024. Oh, what is the year 2025? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put a bowl on the bottom, which I know is fine. I've never seen a bowl on the bottom. Yes, call Riley Griffin. Your mother is here. How may I help you?
Is that corner back room where the mom came out of, is that where the laundry room is?
Yeah, so straight ahead appears to be where the laundry room or the room where you can even exit the home.
So far, nothing out of the ordinary.
I want it to be 2 o'clock in here. I'll turn this side off. Turn this fan on.
Okay, can we?
Did it appear that the mom did a lot of cleaning and laundry?
It did appear that, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I love you, but in case you'd like to know, my fucking ice maker is broken because of you. You put the goddamn ice cream tub up there. The
Okay.
ice cream tub broke.
Hold on. Something's
Goddamn
changing.
ice cream. Oh, and I love you, but in case you'd like to know.
Okay, so she loves him, all right?
My fucking ice maker is broken because of you.
Okay.
You put the goddamn ice cream tub up there. The ice cream tub broke that little gold piece off. There's a
I
gold
mean, she said she loved him, so.
piece broken inside of my freezer. That's supposed to stick into the fucking thing.
I mean, the officer's like, I don't know why I'm up here.
But you put ice cream tubs up there and it knocked it off. I've never put ice cream tubs up by the ice maker.
Okay. The ice maker's broken. Brooklyn, I don't know that she was screaming, but Kathy definitely had her voice raised at Colin, her mother, the decedent in this case. All right, come on, folks. All right, come on, folks. I don't want to miss anything, but they also not saying.
What?
Oh, hold on.
What? What?
Okay, what's going on?
It's working manually where? It's not compatible. No, it's not. They said it's not. I forgot to say.
What are they talking about? Okay.
Oh, it's I learned my back eating more. What the fuck?
She did what?
I said, don't talk to me. Only have dinner. I was gonna come out and girl get rail. Rail? Okay. No. Oh. I'm that light. Hey, it's okay, I'm busy. I'll just get okay. Like, right, fine.
I don't know, there's not really much going on. There's obviously the jury can see what's going on, but
Yeah. I'm fast as fuck. I'm acting surprised that I speak on fast as fuck.
what?
I was gonna tell you I hung out with the, so your coins?
Yeah.
Listen, I used and my father okay, those are what you from $200. Four of them.
What?
I know part of me wants to
What do you
skip.
need? That's gonna take until I go to the And then never mind.
Part of me wants to skip this portion, but it's not, you know.
Yeah.
It's only maybe an hour.
Do you think we got an hour right now? No, we can take 22 hours.
It's not gonna take that long. Is this even with this? Yes or no?
No fucking idea.
All right, come on now. And they aren't talking, and we aren't seeing anything. So
Now you're gonna put something.
trying to speed it up.
What if the gutter that I put is gonna fall off? You pull it down, and now you're gonna put something that isn't that stud that's up against the wall? No stud.
Okay, so this appears to be surveillance footage from the day before, which is when they had the huge blow up about the bookshelf, and he left or he was kicked out and went to his grandmother's. Brooklyn says you changed some graphic settings, or am I just dreaming? You made the fonts bigger. I have no idea, Brooklyn. That does look different, huh? Yeah, that actually looks different because previously I could still see law and crime. Whatever happened, it's not in. Oh, there we go. It's not intentional, trust me. There we go. Yeah, it was not intentional. I'm sorry. Definitely not intentional.
Not fall off.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened.
Oh, really? How are you gonna have it fall off? Break and rip the wall.
Okay.
Right. I need the keys to the house. So, put that in your car. You need to change your clothes? Well, you're not coming home tonight unless you're like the dad and you're gonna fucking ball in your eyes out telling you not to try your other property like this and do this shit.
You wanna kill someone by putting that thing on your.
It's not gonna
It's
kill
gonna
you.
fall down. There's no studs. There's no, you even did it with me. There's no studs.
There are studs, that's why they're
You
mine.
did it with me. There's no studs.
There's studs, that's why they're mine.
I don't know, the way that I had imagined, imagined in my head, right, as we're just listening to the words, I expected this file, maybe it does get explosive, but I expected this file to be a bit more explosive, all right?
It's easier.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know. Let me leave. I'm going to leave Trump and Elon alone. Let me leave them alone. Mm.
Send a text message to Colin Griffin.
Wait, what?
I put yours to Colin Griffin. Send a text message to Colin Griffin.
Okay, so I don't know. Is this what is this, speech to text?
I put your Starbucks and your.
Okay, yeah. This is speech to text.
Cameras outside because you decided to forget those too, which I paid for this morning before you decided to throw your temper tantrum. So you can come and pick those up. They're sitting outside the front door.
Hey, she still gave the man or the boy some Starbucks and a sandwich. I guess you have to feed the kid. Yeah, I don't know. The fight to me from opening, it sounded more explosive than what I heard. But then again, we're not seeing the actual video. So I guess it might be different on video.
What was the subject matter of the argument between Kathy and her son?
It appears to be she was requesting some help hanging something in the home, and he didn't want to do that.
Did she later, after the defendant left the house, did she later put up the bookshelf herself?
I believe so, yes.
Now, it appeared that she was taking food and a drink outside. What can you tell the jury about that?
So he entered the frame with what appeared to be Starbucks
Okay.
at the beginning, and then she just set his portion of the Starbucks outside.
And is this the clip in which the defendant leaves and doesn't return to the house?
Yes.
She was holding a phone and she said, "Send a text to Colin" or something like that, and then she spoke the words that she spoke. Did that text message then show up in the text messages?
It did in Colin Griffin's phone. It did.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
I started going through his room, it was a complete and total fucking
On what?
It's up. I started going through his room, it was a complete and total fucking mess, he had shit everywhere, okay? He didn't even go to sleep last night until 1 o'clock in the morning, I was asleep by 8, I was fucking out.
Okay, is she talking to Susan, or who is she talking to?
I took my gummies, I was asleep before he even got home. I had dinner for him waiting that I had bought for him at a fucking Mexican restaurant that delivered. And he still decides that this morning when I was like, hey, we need to get this last bookshelf up so I can get everything going. He said, no, Mom, that's just gonna fall on somebody's head and kill them. I'm not gonna help you do that. And I was
Yeah, I thought I heard him say the word kill, right? So apparently Colin said, if he hung up the bookshelf, he would fall and, I guess flatten somebody.
going. He said, no, Mom, that's just gonna fall on somebody's head and kill them. I'm not gonna help you do that. And I was like, Colin, I told you for the past week that we were gonna get this done. And he was like, no, I need to go on my walk.
Okay.
And now I'm not gonna be able to go on my walk because this is gonna take 2 hours to get done. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well then maybe you shouldn't have slept in. Because I've been up since 7:30. Where have you been? I didn't say that to him. I said to him, I said, Colin, you know what? You have a great life. The fact that
I don't know. Brooklyn, Benji, what do you guys make of this conversation here? Okay. The ring footage, I mean, all we can really hear is audio, right? But again, from my sense, without this context, just hearing the attorneys talk about it, it sounded more, at least hearing the defense talk about it, it sounded more explosive than what I'm hearing.
you don't even do your own sheets. You don't even clean your own bathroom. All of the things that I've told him to do for a while, he doesn't fucking do. And he just looks at me, right? And he wants to live on his own. And he's able to, he thinks he's able to live on his own. Mom, I have cockroaches coming into my house because Colin ate
Oh my goodness, you have roaches?
candy and food in his room.
I mean, when you do live in Florida, though, I mean, anywhere in the South, they have roaches everywhere.
Just leaves it in his room.
I mean, and Florida has, what are the roaches that fly called? There are some roaches out there that actually fly. They have wings. I think
No,
that's-
and I told him that.
that's what
I even said, because I showed you how I had everything in those little containers, the glass containers or the plastic ones that seal everything. I said, you can have candy in your room if this is this, because they can't get into that.
Okay.
And then like last night, there was an ant on the doorknob.
I don't know. I'd like to hear from Obag. I would like to hear from Obag. I'd like to know what she makes of this audio from the Ring camera, because Kathy does not sound as unstable as I mean, overall, she's done some stuff, all right? She pinned the husband and did this and did that and stabbed the husband in front of the kids. But as far as the catalyst to, Colin being kicked out or him walking out the house, whatever happened, it's not as explosive as I'd envisioned.
And going from the house to the garage on that doorknob, I could tell, and then I looked, he hadn't closed the back door all the way, the back sliding glass door.
Yeah.
And there were ants. He was like, Mom, everybody has ants in their house. I said, go on.
I don't know about that, Colin.
He has ants in their house. Nobody has cockroaches in their house. And the first time you see them, you kill them, and then you start spraying your whole house with bug spray. Because once you see one Starbucks with his drink he drank, he was mad that I was making him go with me, like, stand here with me and hold a bookshelf while I mount it to a wall.
Okay.
And he didn't want to stand there and hold it. He said, no, this is going to take 2 or 3 hours. There's not any studs back.
Well, Brooklyn says that it sounds like a typical mother-son argument over ice cream and keeping his room clean. That's what it sounded like to me. She did not sound batshit crazy in the audio.
There. I said, I've already shown you where the studs are. I marked them, Colin. I said, why else do you think I put 1, 2, 3, 4? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 areas this thing is being bolted in, and it's not going to hold books. It's going to hold pictures.
Okay.
It's not going to fall on anybody's stuff.
All right. Is that it? Okay, we cannot hear the rest.
Even though he went to school, he didn't get his shit figured out with his math class or with his class I told him to. He was like, no, my computer's going to be here by October 12th. And my professor said it's fine, and I didn't do the proctorial. And I was like, you can hook up a webcam to that computer. The fact that you haven't figured out how to do that is not my fault. And I'm not going to sit here and do it for you because I'm not going to do your college work.
I kind of like this arrangement in terms of him being farther out and his attorney pretty much blocking the cameraman. They can, we nosy folks cannot see what Colin's emotions are. We cannot scrutinize him. And probably even the jury, depending on where they're sitting, right?
And so he's mad at me that I'm not doing his college work, but he doesn't want to help with this. I'm not talking to anybody because I'll just get upset.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. Doesn't. I get 0 cents.
Okay, what's mom saying?
He has money. He can't. He's 17. They won't give him one. He can buy a prepaid one.
Okay, so something to do with a phone, I think.
He knows how to do that. I love you. Okay, I love you, and I'm telling you right now. I already told Colin. I said, you leave, you do this, I'm cutting everybody off. So I'm changing my phone number. So I'm changing my phone number. I'm cutting everybody else off because I'm fucking sick and tired of this. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. I try to let him sleep in, try to be the nice mom, try to do everything. Had my identity stolen. I've had all this shit going on. My own, and he can just fuck himself with his little AT&T phone and figure out what the fuck to do with life. He has a trust fund. He has a lawyer. He can figure that out. What's he gonna do? Call DCFS and say that I kicked him out? Okay. Fine. He has a car. He has a brand new car he's driving around. Go back with it.
I cannot hear the rest of that, but okay. I don't know. No, definitely not as. Are you done eating?
If I have the phone.
I need you to go eat, Zeta. I'm sorry. A girl does not want to eat. So, yeah, sorry. Let's see. Where were we? Okay. Come on. Okay, there's some shuffling and things moving. Okay, I'm skipping. Uh-oh. All right, any more audio? All right, come on, Kathy. All right. Okay, what's going on? Oh, they are definitely strategic with the placement of Colin. They're still coughing in the courtroom. Whew. All right, come on. Brooklyn says, did I see the news that Rudy Giuliani paid and settled the case with Ruby Friedman and Shay Moss? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yep. I mean, he did not really have much of a choice, though. It's not it's not it's not like he had a choice. Eventually, you have to, settle your debts. All right, what's going on? What do you make of, him paying up? I mean, he's tried every trick in the book and did not work for him. That's a pretty expensive lesson, though. Sheesh. That is an expensive lesson. I have no idea what they're looking at. Had I known that would be skipping through a lot of this, I probably would have I would not have stopped the stream. Brooklyn says $148 million is a lot of money, not for what he did. Yeah, you have to recognize that Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump's actions, okay, the actions that led to him being sued are not acceptable. All right, they caused a lot of harm to Ruby and Shay. So I don't know. I don't think it's a lot of money for what he did to them. It was uncalled for. He is at the time he was a licensed attorney and he knew better. But uh, these folks in their mega movement. Yeah, what does she say?
Cassie,
What?
out. Cassie,
Okay, somebody's being kicked.
out. Cassie, out. Out.
Okay, who was being kicked out?
You okay?
I don't know that they had a pet though.
Yes, Cassie.
Okay, Brooklyn says it sounds like somebody's being hurt. I don't know. Serious telling somebody to get out or I don't know that they have a pet.
No. No. No.
Okay. I know that's interesting that we don't hear another person speaking the background.
Your Honor, I have no further questions regarding this subject matter for today.
Okay.
Judge, we discussed previously that Detective Peters is going to be coming back, and I will reserve my cross-examination for when he's finished with his direct and total.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end here for today. It's about 4:15.
So that's it.
Chairs. Thank you for your service today. We will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Had I known that, I would have just kept the stream going. I just thought it was much
Good
longer
break
than
for the
this.
evening.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Thornhill.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you at 8:30.
Okay. All right. So what's left over here though? Oh, nothing. All right, folks. So that is it. That is it for now. We'll be back. I mean, I could do something. Brooklyn, if you want to watch something else, let me know. I have a little time. Maybe we can get into some Karen Reed. Let's actually get into Karen Reed. But Karen Reed, I want to watch the whole I want to watch the hearing in its entirety, right? Yeah, I definitely want to watch the hearing in its entirety, but let's see what we can get into. Hold on. So Alec Murdaugh. Hold on, I'm getting distracted. I got distracted. I don't know what we're getting into, but it seems interesting. Let's quickly I'll switch to Karen Reed eventually, but this caught my
This morning, big news for the Murdaugh family. We know Buster Murdaugh, the son of convicted killer Alec Murdaugh, is suing several media outlets, accusing them of libel.
Okay.
Now, a federal judge says that some of Buster's cases, including the one against Netflix, must be heard locally in Hampton County, South Carolina, not in
Alright.
state court over in Charleston. Now, last year, Buster Murdaugh claimed that documentaries alluded to him as being involved in the 2015 violent death of Stephen Smith,
Right.
who was an openly gay teenager in class with Buster. Now, you may remember the Netflix doc, Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal.
Mm.
The Murdaughs wouldn't just make someone disappear.
There were so many.
I remember the Murdaughs, they had a lot going on, okay? Even before Alec was actually arrested, I was like, I don't know, there's something going on.
Rumors that Buster and Stephen were intimate together.
Stephen's death is now intertwined with the Murdaugh.
Lawyer had found drugs under Alec's bed.
She knew too much.
Okay.
Moselle. It's like massive playground.
The way Paul told it, it was for drugs and strippers and everything. You can't believe everything Paul says neither.
So that was one of the things that prompted Buster to file these lawsuits. And we should point out that the media companies, including Netflix, have denied the allegations brought against them. So what does this latest move mean? Could the judge's decision to move some cases end up being a big win for Buster? Let's bring in attorney Eric Bland, who represents Stephen Smith's family. Eric, good morning. Thank you for coming on. Your thoughts on whether this is a win for Buster?
Good morning. It is a win for Buster. Julie, as a lawyer, you know that federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction, and you either have to have a federal statute at issue or you have to have diversity of citizenship between the plaintiffs and the defendant. In this case,
against Alex, founding partner.
Buster named a South Carolina defendant, Michael DeWitt, who's a journalist from Hampton County, to try to keep the case in Hampton County. The other defendants removed the case to federal court to Judge Gergel's court in Charleston and said that naming Michael DeWitt was a sham defendant, meaning it was done to.
I know, I'm going to stop here. Let's quickly just go into Karen Reed, okay? One moment. Let me find. I got distracted. It happens sometimes. But I did get distracted. All right, let's see. Karen Reed. I guess we can let's watch the brief summary. I'm not a big fan of Court TV. I'm really not a fan of Court TV. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Court TV, at least not the commentary, because they tend to TV overall, they do tend to I don't know. Everything is sensational. So I don't like that aspect of Court TV, but this is quick and we'll be out of here.
But first, we're following new developments in the Karen Reed murder retrial going on in Massachusetts. Reed is scheduled to be retried on April 1st for the murder of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Well, the Commonwealth claims that she ran over him with her car and then left him to die in the snow.
Her first trial ended in a mistrial when the jury deadlocked on 2 of the charges, including second-degree murder. Today, Reed was back in court for another hearing. Now, at issue in this hearing is whether the defense made misrepresentations to the court during Reed's first trial about 2 experts who testified that John O'Keefe's injuries were not from being hit by a car.
All right.
Crime and Justice correspondent Matt Johnson has been inside that courtroom and now has a debrief.
Kelly Michael, good evening. It was a bombshell in court today, just the latest in the Karen Reed retrial case, as the judge learned that the
All right,
defense
Benji.
experts, the ARCA experts, were in fact paid after the trial.
It says at the top, ARCA invoice
That the defense in. Kelly Michael, good evening. It was a bombshell in court today, just the latest in the Karen Reed retrial case, as the judge learned that the defense experts, the ARCA experts, were in fact paid after the trial.
It says at the top, ARCA invoice date, July 12, 2000.
Looking at the parents, the two sets of parents, always interesting. Looking at John's mom and then Karen Reed's mom and father.
24. Of course, by then the trial is over. I can't reveal attorney-client communications, but I can tell you.
What do you mean as they relate to the experts?
There's one person that was more shocked than most about the invoice coming in and the amount.
Did they pay it? And who was shocked? Was that Karen Reed?
Yes.
Karen Reed's attorneys back in court arguing that oversight was not intentional and that they corrected the issue. They also claim that the prosecutor
I don't know though. That's I don't know. Okay, so Benji enjoys the commentary. Thank you, Benji. I don't know. I have questions. I do not know how, unless there's another individual that's actually making the payments. I just don't know, because I'm comparing to. I'm looking at this from a civil perspective, okay? I'm disregarding public defense and prosecution, because then I did not actually pay actual bills. There was an entity that paid for bills. But I'm trying to figure out in my current role, okay? My current role, we do make a lot of payments directly to not just experts, but even for transcripts. I do not know how, again, it will depend on how large the firm in question is, because typically a paralegal does not even really have, again, I do not know of an attorney not having oversight over bills being paid. And I don't know that these people were cheap either. So I don't know. I have questions.
Stated the facts. Last week, Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan claimed that the defense did not disclose communications or payment with ARCA experts related to testimony in the first trial.
Okay.
Today, Hank Brennan said this.
I'll move on, but the point is it is not incumbent on the court to provide the proof that the defense
Who are they zooming into? Karen Reed?
is not incumbent on the court to provide the proof that the defense was given the opportunity to bring in today to clarify the record. Instead, it is the typical 101, blame everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jackson is definitely a little flushed. Definitely flushed.
But themselves, there's no acknowledgement, there's no contrition, and there's no confidence that we are going to get all the materials that we're entitled to.
Okay.
To suggest that ARCA's position did not change, it did change. Their opinions did.
For transcripts, actually, transcripts are much pricier than I thought, right? And again, when I worked in public service, I didn't care. I just requested and somebody else paid, and there's money earmarked for that. Yeah, but the transcripts, actually, it's like, I'm trying to think of the last two. The only reason I was thinking about transcript is because we got an invoice sometime last week. It ranges. It's usually north of $200. I do not know that I've received a transcript that was over 500 though, but maybe it depends on the duration of the deposition, because the depositions, I think these were about the same length in duration. It was a little over 2 hours, like two and a half, if I'm not mistaken.
It changed by the time they reached trial. It is not.
Brooklyn, what do you mean $7 a paper?
Defense brought out that there was an expert in lighting or crashes happen at night. It is the
Wait,
by
what did it
time
say?
did not change. It did change. Their opinions did change by the time they reached trial.
Okay.
It is not that the defense brought out that there was an expert in lighting or crashes happen at night. It is the bias, the relationship that is critical, and that was hidden from the court, the Commonwealth, and the jury.
Okay. So what's up with
Judge
this?
Beverly Canoni did not issue a ruling today, which could include removal of counsel if the court finds wrongdoing was intentional, a move the defense argued would violate Karen Reed's Sixth Amendment right of counsel of choice and delay the trial. Defense attorneys Jackson, Yannetti, and Little only said this today.
As an officer of the court, is there anything that you dispute that you just heard from Mr.
I don't know. Those seem to be stern. That question. Hold on. Let's think about that a little bit. Do not know. Like, what were you? And you guys have heard me say this over and over again. I say whether you are prosecution or defense, turn everything over. Turn everything over. I don't know why they created an issue that should not have existed.
And Little only said this today.
As an officer of the court, is there anything that you dispute that you just heard from Mr. Leslie? And what I'm particularly concerned about is what you knew or what you didn't know.
You know, what he said was entirely accurate.
Okay? Mr. Jackson, same questions.
That man, he is, baby. After the hearing, I hope you had, I don't know, a drink of something, because you need it.
And I would simply elucidate with regard to the February 6th sidebar comment. As I look back at I didn't remember making the comment one way or the other. I didn't remember that sidebar.
I did.
Ish, Bev said I did.
I'm sure the court did after it looked at the transcript. I did as well after I looked at the transcript.
I did long before I looked at that.
Right. The context of that, what was in my brain when I said we don't have anything else to give, which when I reviewed the transcript, was very clearly the federal batch of information, what we refer to as the federal dump. I did not have in my head at all emails, communications, things of that nature, the small
Invoices coming in.
No, nothing. I was because
Yeah, but I mean, aren't you who was having direct communication with the expert? I don't know. I don't know why they created this mess. I just do not know why. Why did they create the mess?
Each of the attorneys there for the defense that are working outside of their normal state and jurisdiction telling the court rather, that all of the arguments made in court today were fair and accurate. Outside the courthouse, none of the attorneys spoke. I also tried to get a comment from Hank Brennan, the special prosecutor. He didn't have a comment, but Karen Reed did tell me as she was exiting the courthouse.
Oh, shoot. There was a Karen Reed interview that we never got to, right? I forgot about that.
If, in fact, any of her attorneys are removed, she will appeal.
I do not know why. I do not know why the defense created an issue that should not have existed. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why. What was the purpose of lying about payment? It makes absolutely no sense because experts are paid all the time. They're not testifying for free. I don't get it. Okay, so Brooklyn just ordered a transcript from Alexa Transcripts, 19 pages, and it was $133. Okay, so per paper, did you mean per page? I don't know. I was a public defender, so I don't know. I don't know the cost for transcripts. Brooklyn said Alan Jackson had to prove all approve all invoices. That's typically how it goes, right? Typically, the attorney has to sign off on under these circumstances. Okay, for people that work for law firms and solo practitioners, they have to sign off invoices. I just I just don't understand. I really do not understand what the purpose was for lying about paying an expert, because it's not that big a deal. Like, it's not such a huge, even the prosecution's expert. I mean, most of them, it depends. So if they work for for the state, then you get your salary. But if they had to be retained from outside, then they get paid. You put it on the record that the expert was paid. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And when you try to play dirty, it catches up with you. Not always, but sometimes. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. But in any event, folks, it's like 9:33. I'm gonna call it a night here. I'm gonna get my daughter in bed. Yeah, I'm gonna get my daughter in bed, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of work. I need to respond to emails. I need to do just a little bit of work, and then we'll be back tomorrow. I want to start early just because on Friday I will not be up here. Yeah, I will not be up here tomorrow, and I might have to take a break because I want to start while my daughter's still asleep. I want to start while my daughter's still asleep. Let me think about time, because I was thinking 8, but if that's too early even for myself, then why would I do that? Maybe 8:30. Yeah. I'll schedule tomorrow's live for 8:30 because we want to get through day 3. I guess this trial is going to take us all the way to next weekend, maybe. Right? Okay, folks. So Benji, Brooklyn, thanks for tuning in. I am calling it a night. Okay, I'm calling it a night. Had I known that, the rest of day 2 was not really much, I probably would not have ended the live and started a new one. But in any event, I'm calling it a night, folks. You guys have a good night. Have a fantastic Thursday. And then we will reconvene here tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. All right.